I'd like to do is I'd like to show you another way of making an anchor. You want to come here? There's nothing to be nervous about. See, I always like to let people volunteer on their own. You! Now, the thing is, okay, step number one is to take the most positive state that you can find inside of what you've been doing here. So, sitting here flirting with people. You seem to be doing pretty good. I was watching you. Was it fun?
Yeah,
kind of. Gonna play coy with me, huh? Look into my eyes. The old Svengali approach. I was out with somebody the other night, and he's a hypnotist, and we were talking about hypnosis, and this waitress in the place said, well, nobody could put me in a trance. And he turned around and knocked her ass into a trance so fast you wouldn't believe it. There he is, by the way. Just happened to show up at that moment. Wouldn't look at his eyes after that anymore. Knew it was in the eyes. Saw too many Svengali movies. Yeah, you can just set that up over there, would you? I have a job for you, Todd. Okay, now, the thing is what I want you to do is to close your eyes, and I want you to think about when you felt the best, the most comfortable, and were having the most fun when you were flirting here. Okay? See what you saw at the time, and just go back to it till you begin to get the feelings back. Right. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to start by taking the picture in your mind, and I want you to make it bigger. That's right. And bigger. And a little bit bigger. There you go. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to move the picture closer or further away and find out which one makes your feelings even get stronger. When you find the one that makes your feelings get stronger, move it to just the right spot. The place where it intensifies that feeling even more. Now, do the same thing with the volume of the sound. As you go back and hear the sound, turn the volume up and down till you find the perfect pitch, the one that makes you feel that even more. There you go. Now, I want you to do the same thing with the brightness of the image. Take the brightness of the image, turn it up, turn it down, till you find just the right place. There you go. Getting better all the time. Okay, now, that's just an example. Your submodality list is a little longer, but you can run through and build up even more. And what you're doing is each time you watch the person and you see a change in them where you see them begin to glow even more. Because the one thing that is really irresistible in this world are the people that just glow. They radiate. And I mean, the times where you've just felt so good that you radiated were the times that people were just attracted to you. You know, I mean, when you're in one of those moods where you're, fuck it, man, you know. You know, yeah. Oh, worn out, and you sit down, you know. People look at you and go. But the times where you really radiate. Now, what I want you to do is to be able to build an anchor. And if you notice, what I built was an anchor that got a little bit bigger each time. So what I did is I started with a spot, and each time she made a change, where what I saw was a change where she began to glow even more, then what I did is I took the anchor and I made it a little bit bigger. Right? Now, unconscious minds are sort of nifty because they get the hang of this real fast. Right? To the point where if you make it even bigger, it just starts changing that stuff all by itself. Says, hey, I can do this. I've been doing this for years and we didn't even know about NLP. Now, the next thing to do with that anchor is to begin to attach it to something. Now, what I want you to do is to think of the flirting moves that you read on the list or you've seen other people do or the ones we did here. The one that you would like to be able to do the best or a combination. Okay, I want you to just stop and I want you to see yourself do it in your mind. Okay? You got it? Okay, now what I want you to do is to switch so you're inside that picture, seeing what you'd see if you actually did it. Right now. Go ahead. There you go. How does that feel?
An ugly experience.
Boy, the honesty in this group is overwhelming. Try and press.
I have to protect me. The rest of it, they can't.
No. What you do?
Achilles knee,
No. What you do is you take your finger. Say you put your finger right.
Do it again.
Pick your finger right there. Now watch this. I want you to look at this guy right there. Just look at him, right, and then just pull it up like this. But you have to look at him while you do it.
Oh, okay.
Pull it up at your own speed, and just look at him. And I want you to take your other hand and go like this.
Okay. Really?
Yeah.
Can I do this? Okay.
Yeah. Just tilt your shoulder a little bit. There you go. Now, the thing is now what the next thing to do, and the last step is inside of the groups, because I don't want you to get such big groups this time. Don't make them too big, or this will take forever. I want you first to sit down with another person and build the anchor. Then get together in groups of 4 or 5 or 6. And what I want you to do is to try the 3 things that you'd most like, and as you try them, just take your own finger and pull it up your knee like that, so that you anchor the feeling to the behavior, so that you're going to glow while you do it. Am I getting through to you? See, in other words, first thing you're trying to accomplish here is to build an anchor by amplifying the best state they have and making it stronger and stronger. Then you want to take that anchor and to attach it to the actual behaviors of flirting. Now, once they do that a couple of times, then what will happen is the activity of flirting will make them feel that way. So instead of flirting becoming something that's awkward or uncomfortable, it's something that's going to make you glow, which is the way you should do it. If you're going to flirt, you might as well glow while you do it. Makes sense, doesn't it? Good. Then I want you to get yourself a partner, establish your anchor, then get into small groups, and attach it to 3 flirting behaviors.
Your favorite.
Okay? Go for it. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Now, the thing is that there's a lot of things, and a lot of times when I do seminars like this, that when people leave them, that they go back to wherever their real lives are, or back to their hotel room, they forget to take with them the skills they acquired. That, it's one thing to do it here in the controlled environment. That's why it is essential that you do your homework tonight. Now, your homework tonight is to make sure that you flirt with 3 people who are not in this seminar. Now, the thing is keeping in mind that you have an anchor, you have a way of changing your mood so that you really feel like flirting. You have an anchor so that when you turn around, you can make yourself glow. And you have some skills about what to do. Blow somebody's mind out. Just to watch it pop. So when you come back here tomorrow, you are ripe and ready. Now, there is one other piece that I thought I should cover. The thing is that since this room is small and there's a lot of chairs in there, that one of the things that we really didn't get a chance to talk about is walking. Now, the thing is that there's something that I always do with myself, that when I'm going to think about flirting, the first thing I do is I make sure that the internal voice inside my head seduces me into it. So that you take your own internal dialogue and lower the voice and make it sexy. I mean, I even have a female voice in my head that says, "Richard, isn't that woman attractive over there?" Yeah, she is. Yeah, I know it is. My mother's got to be one of the all-time flirts of the century. I mean, I took my mother out to dinner. I hadn't seen her in a long time, and she came down, and I took her out to a fancy French restaurant. And I'll never forget, this is about 6 years ago. And, my mother came down the stairs where I was living at the time in a yellow miniskirt with a red tight sweater on and white patent leather boots and false eyelashes that you could hang a cane on.
You just saw your mother dress like that.
My mother picked up one of my friends and didn't come home that night. And I heard the next day that they went down to a bar and she got everybody in a rock and roll bar to stop and sing old songs. She stood on the bar and led them all in songs for 4 hours. That's 2 hours after the place was closed. Now, of course, having somebody like that subtle bring you up, one of the things that my mother taught me a long time ago was that when you walk, if you want to walk in a way that makes people notice, you play some music inside your head and you strut to it. Now, I thought for the sake of brevity here that what I'd do is I'd help you. I'd pick a piece of music. Now, what I want you to do is that I know many of you ladies in here have probably watched Ann walk across the room. Never a wasted move, is there? Now, where'd you go? Get back over there. Nobody rides for free here. So, poor guy lets me know he's a piano player, put him to work. Okay, now, the thing is to start with a bass line in your mind. What I want you to do is just listen to the bass line. This is called a walking bass line. No, that's called a drum. Just play the bass line. Now, the thing is when you walk half the speed of what you're listening to. And just put that in your mind. And what I want you to do is, inside your head, if you're a guy, I want you to put a mild growl. Ladies, just purr. Feel talons on the end of your fingers. Try, close your eyes, do this. I'm not kidding. Put yourself in the right mood. When you're going to have fun, you might as well, so to speak, go all the way. I want you to keep that in your mind so that when you get ready to make your moves, you can start by playing that in your head. And when you do, I want you to remember everything you've learned here so that when you go out to do your homework, you can strut out to do it. So that wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you put something in your head so that when you're doing those things that you do to get ready, when you get dressed, when you do, and I mean, women have courage, man. They'll pluck their out. You never seen anything like it in my life. Say one nasty word to them, they burst into tears, and yet these people are supposed to be weak. Take this thing and go. Wildest thing I ever saw. Me, I can't even watch it. You know, they do that, my eye hurts. Oh! But while you're doing that stuff, get yourself ready. Put that tune in your mind and keep it going so that when you're ready, you put yourself in the mood. Think about the times you enjoyed flirting. Make the pictures big and bright. If you're making expectations, make expectations about what you'll do, not about what will happen. It's a lot easier that way.